Salve discipuli. Today I'm going to give you the remaining tidbits of grammar from lesson 29. Nothing that I give you is going to be super difficult. Some of it's going to be just a little bit confusing, but you should be able to pick up on it pretty quickly. So we're going to start with a special vocabulary word, domus, domus, feminine, which means home or house. As you can imagine, this is a word that is used pretty often because we talk about our homes or houses a lot in English, and the Romans did the same. Now, what's really unusual about this word is that it is really kind of a hybrid of the second and fourth declension. So you will see some endings that are from the second declension, some are from the fourth. Okay? And the real truth of it is, sometimes you will see this word as an all-out, full-fledged second declension word, but other times you will see it as an all-out, full-fledged fourth declension word. Okay? This is crazy. We're just going to do the best we can with it. I'm going to show you the hybrid, the second/fourth declension hybrid, just so you're familiar with it. And then you're just going to have to be prepared to deal with this word in whatever form it shows up. So, here's your second declension, fourth declension hybrid of domus, domus. Okay, so obviously the nominative form is domus. Okay, that's nominative singular. The genitive singular is going to be dome. This should be pretty obvious because of the dictionary entry, domus. All right, so far it looks all fourth declension-y. The dative singular is going to be domui. So again, looks a lot like the fourth declension. Okay, the accusative is going to be domum, which is fourth or second declension, really. And then the ablative, domo. So that's where we get a glimpse of our second declension aspect of this. In the plurals, so nominative plural, we end up with domus. Excuse me. In our genitive plural, we end up with domuum. So again, it's looking very much like a fourth declension noun. In the dative, we get domibus. In the accusative, we get domos. So it looks second declension there. And in the ablative plural, we get domibus. No surprise here. We're used to seeing the dative plural and ablative plural look identical. So we see some traces of second declension, some traces of fourth declension. Like I said, sometimes you will see it as entirely fourth declension, sometimes as entirely second. So in truth, sometimes you will see this form as domu. Okay? In truth, sometimes you will see this genitive plural form as domorum, for example. Okay, so you really just have to be on the ball. You have to look out for the D-O-M. Okay? But we need to be careful. If we see a word like this, okay, or any form of this word, like this, all right, we need to realize that this is the word for Lord or Master. It is not the word for house and home we saw here. The key will be spotting this IN. Okay, if you find this IN, you know you're dealing with the word for Lord or Master, and you will not confuse it with this word for house or home. Okay, that is all I have to say about house or home. The next somewhat obscure grammar point is the way the Romans say to attack something. Okay, this is an idiomatic expression. Okay, they use this phrase plus an accusative noun. So it literally means to make an attack into someone. Okay, this is how you attack. You make an attack into someone. Now, obviously, the form of facere is going to change based on the subject. So we could end up with something like this. Impetum facimus in magistros. Okay? We are making an attack into the teachers In other words, we are making an attack against the teachers, which obviously is a horrible idea. You will lose. Okay? But notice we have in plus an accusative to show an attack against someone. All right? Maybe we would see something like this. Impetum in hostes feci. And note, I've changed the word order, but it's okay. It still means the same thing. So here we have feci. All right, what's the subject of feci, gentlemen, with that I ending? Okay, I made an attack against the enemy. Okay, in plus accusative meaning against. So there's how the Romans would express to make an attack against someone. Okay, in plus the accusative, impetum, and then some form of facere. All right, gentlemen, last lesson. Okay, the word passus means pace. All right, now a passus is basically equal to 2 steps. That's what the Romans meant by a pace, 2 different steps. Okay, that is equal to roughly 5 feet by our measuring system. Okay? Then, if you're looking at millipassus, you're literally looking at 1,000 paces. Okay? So millipassus equals 1,000 paces, which for the Romans equals 1 Roman mile. Okay? So just remember this conversion. A passus is 2 steps, which is approximately 5 feet. 1,000 paces is equal to 1 Roman mile. Later, we're going to see different forms of this. We're going to see the way the Romans expressed 2 miles or 3 miles or whatever. We'll see that later. But for now, millipassus, you can just translate it 1 mile. All right, gentlemen, that's really all I have for you today, except that I hope you had a good time this weekend. I hope that you drank nihil vini. Instead, I hope you drank multum aquae. What does that mean? That's all I have. Wale